Hi, I'm doing a review of the Terra Mega SD. This is a retail version. This is not the pre-production. It's not a pre-order review or anything like that. This is an order that I made, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and this came by DHL 2 days ago, and I was quite pleasantly surprised. So let's pop it into our Sega Genesis. By the way, this is not a paid review. I don't think anyone in their right mind would pay anyone with this low tech to review a product for them. It's a little zinger at my own expense. Okay, here we go. Okay, I believe that I forgot to put the card back in after putting a few more games in. So let's put the SD card in. That might help us. A little bit of a technical difficulty, but it's okay. It will soon be remedied. And one thing that I did find about the Terra Mega SD as opposed to any of the EverDrives, which I do own, I'll show really quick just to prove my custom label, but this is indeed, let me see if I can get in the light, you can see it says EverDrive. I think the light's too poor to see, but this is a real EverDrive, Famicom NA, it's not a clone. It's a really bad custom label on my part. And then I do have the SD to NES, which on a side note, I'm a little bit irritated only because I ordered it last December, and it was maybe 2 or 3 days after I'd ordered it, I found out about the SD to NES Pro, and I ordered directly from Crix's website, and I was a little bit irritated that the SD to SNES Pro wasn't advertised, and it was the same price even, so it was kind of like, but otherwise, that is a good product in itself. I can't fault it, but had I had known there was a Pro for the same price, I would have bought the Pro edition. And this is a Mega EverDrive, also directly from Crix, with a custom Spider-Man sticker. My son had Spider-Man stickers one day, and he was placing them all over, and this one had fallen off of the little entertainment center here, so I'd stuck it on the cartridge, kind of a little memento of my little man. So anyway, these are all good products, but that being said, you can see how easily you can pop in and out the SD card. And let me show you what I have to do with the Terra Mega SD. It's not bad, but I do kind of have chubby fingers, and I cut my nails short, so that could be part of it. But for me personally, I can't quite push it in, so I use a popsicle stick. I washed it with soap and water, but I use a popsicle stick just to have to hold the camera and try to push it in at the same time. Let's see how that goes. But basically, I just use the little popsicle stick to push the SD card in and out. And again, I do kind of have chubby fingers, and my nails are cut really short. That's how I always cut my nails short. That being said, you might not have those problems. Okay, it is loaded up. Let's go to our Sega CD directory. I don't have Master System or Genesis games loaded on here. As you see, I still have the EverDrive, the Mega EverDrive. I think it's the V7 or whatever the most expensive one is. And the deal with the EverDrives, I typically get the best one, and that kind of future-proofs you. So that way you'll have more compatibility in the future, like such as the FM sound is something that the X7 can do, but the other ones can't, for the Master System. But anyway, this can do all of that, plus Sega CD, which is what we're going to check out today. And this is going to be Final Fight CD with Pyron's Color Hack, which is much, much nicer. Like, this game looks good regardless. I love this boot music. It's really good. It's almost as good or as endearing to me as the PlayStation 1 BIOS boot screen. That was a really good, memorable chime as well. Okay, let's see. And the reason I'm using the Japanese one because Pyron's hack only works for the Japanese version, and also it's much less censored. And basically, if you're playing an arcade game, you want it to be like the arcade. And not only just like the arcade, but it has music, voice acting, animation, intro scene, And I believe the ending also has voice acting, which if you get the English one, it's, "Oh, Jessica, Daddy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you kidnapped." You know, it's basically along those lines. It's like GameSack's quality approved voice acting school. You know, you guys will know if you watch GameSack. You know, they know what's up with the acting quality. Okay, so let's go into it. That way you can see Pyron's hack. And I'm playing on a CRT because I love CRTs. They look better. There's no lag. I know it's going to look really horrible on YouTube, and let alone being captured by a cell phone. But in person, this looks good. And this isn't even S-video. This is just regular RCA. Let's see, try to play with one hand here. Okay, well, I'm not doing so well holding the phone with one hand and playing with one finger, so you guys get the idea. Let's load up another game. And if you hit the reset button, we'll have the option set to reset to game, just in case, and I just power cycle it to back to the menu. It's not that big of a deal. If I'm getting up to reset it, I might as well get up to power cycle it, right? It's not much of a difference. All right, let's see. My son really liked this one. He went bonkers for it. Then, you know, just keep in mind he's on the cusp of turning 5 years old. So about 2.5 months here, he's going to turn 5. And he loves Spider-Man. So when we put this on the other day, I mean, he was just bonkers, jumping up and down, excited and happy. And he really just needed me to navigate through the map screen. You know, he'd tell me which area he wanted to pick, and then I'd get him started with the level. You're going to get some great music by Mr. Big, by Billy Sheehan himself, from the famed That Metal Show. I mean, the music might seem dated, but I kind of like it. You know, it fits. Now, if only I can get a color camera, I could probably make more money with these pictures. It sure is amazing how I can just web a camera up into a corner, and it amazingly takes these perfect close-ups of every angle that I need to sell. This is great. I found out about you and the black cat. That wasn't me. That was my clone. BS, Parker. Well, acting's pretty good. I'm just having a little fun at Spidey's expense, but I mean, yeah, this is much better than the Sega Genesis version, which I wouldn't even consider them the same game because there we go. We're gonna get a little cutscene here, but basically, yeah, I mean the graphics and some of the assets are used from the Sega Genesis game, but in general, the gameplay, the controls, everything is much more refined, honed in, and much better in this game. So I wouldn't even consider it the same game. I would consider the Genesis version a bad prototype. And this would be a full retail game right here. Are you Spider-Man, or is my medication kicking in again?
Yes, ma'am. I'll keep it in mind. Goodbye.
So yeah, you're seeing loading, but the loading isn't that bad actually. So I mean, by the time you realize you're witnessing a loading screen, it's gone. You know, so but yeah, it's a cool game. It doesn't take very long to load. What is this, like 6 seconds here? Yeah, more or less 4 to 6 seconds. That's not bad. That's definitely tolerable. A PlayStation 2 game will have longer loader times than that. Alright, let's go ahead and show Mortal Kombat because of the games that I've tested thus far. Mortal Kombat has the longest loading times, and even those aren't bad. So let me just go ahead and show that for you. And that way you have an idea of what you're getting into. You know, even like the most demanding of games doesn't take long to load. Yeah, I really love the Sega Genesis, and this is a really great product. Well, let's go over the price really quick as this starts up. It was about $280 with shipping DHL. and I'm in Mexico. That's where I've been living for the last 7 years, more or less. And it also cost me another $60 with import duties once the DHL man got here. So it cost me about $340. But if you figure, okay, you're gonna get a working Sega CD, it's gonna cost you at least $100. Trying to find the games, and you're gonna have to deal with the inconvenience of yet another power brick, power AC adapter. And then you're going to have to worry about finding games at the prices and if they'll work. I mean, this will do every region. All you have to do is once you get your BIOS in, you set your BIOS for each region, and then you set it to auto region fix, and then you're good from there. So every game will have its own RAM, essentially. So it'll have basically a full block or full page of RAM saves for each game individually, which is really cool. It is compatible with the 32X, which I do not own, but if you get the 32X and the Mega SD, you're going to need an adapter that will allow it to the Mega SD to plug into this parallel port here. So I'll pursue that at some point because, I don't know, I'd probably like to be able to play 32X and Sega CD together. That'd be pretty cool, I think. Okay, so let's check out this loading screen. That's not too bad, and she's gonna beat me up regardless because I'm playing one-handed. So let's just let her smash my head in really quick, so you can see there's no loading between rounds for this game anyway. And even when you go to the next match, it won't take very long. So yeah, here we go. Next round. That's not really a head scissors, it's such as a body scissors. Yeah, it's more of a body scissors. And I'd have to argue that move takes as much participation from the slammy as the head scissor. So yeah, I think it takes equal participation from both parties for that move to work, that body scissors. But then again, it's Mortal Kombat. I think a body scissors is the least of our concerns, right? As far as things not being likely or probable to occur in real life. Alright, here we go. So yeah, if you like Mortal Kombat 1, this is a pretty good version of it, and the loading only takes a few seconds, and if you're playing with a buddy, take a sip of your drink, and, there you go. There's a lot more animations, too, and I think the sprites are actually better than the regular Sega Genesis version, so, yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, and to top things off, everyone wants to see this. We're going to put on Fahrenheit. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think anyone wants to see Fahrenheit. No, we're going to put on Sewer Shark. Everyone wants to see Sewer Shark. Sewer Shark. I'm sorry for my lisp. I'm turning into Daffy Duck. Let's see. We all want to see Soul Feast, right? That's what everyone came here to see. Not. Okay, here we go. Alright, I think we're going to set the controller down. And we're going to watch the intro screen, and I'll try to hold the phone without shaking. Well, I said try. Wait, if Sonic shakes his finger, maybe Mario could shake his arm. He's like, hey, let me in this game. He's like, no. You waiting for a Super Nintendo CD? I didn't think so. And one thing I'll say about this intro movie, it looks much, much better through a real Sega Genesis on a CRTV than opposed to watching it on an HD TV on YouTube. Like, I've seen this, ripped to YouTube, on HD, and it looks not so great, but in person on a CRT TV, this actually looks pretty darn good. I was pleasantly surprised. Oh, and also, yeah, on that same thought, Final Fight CD looks much, much better through the Sega Genesis with the Mega SD as opposed to an emulator on the Wii, which is connected via component cables. So yeah, these games look much better, in my opinion, on the CRT than HD TV. And you don't have to worry about lag. And I'll say this, the Sega Genesis is quite a sturdy machine in itself. I mean, they can be dropped, bumped, whatever, and, as long as you clean them and take care of them and not too rough. I mean, the Sega Genesis probably lasts another 30 years. It'll last till my son is, 35, probably. Alright, so that's the Mega SD. I would say it's a great product. It's definitely not cheap, but you get what you pay for. And if you think of its compatibility, it plays the Sega Genesis. It plays all regions. So it'll play Mega Drive Europe, Mega Drive Japan. It'll play all regions of the Sega CD and the Mega CD, which is the same console, but different name for different region. And it'll play with 32X if you get a separate adapter. It does even have the pause button, which I didn't see it advertised as having the pause button for the Master System games, so that is really, really good, because I was thinking that I would have to keep my Mega EverDrive, but I'm thinking now, once I compile all of my games strictly to this one, I can give my son the Mega EverDrive and just buy him a Sega Genesis, and he'll be playing Sonic all the time. He'll be happy. But anyway, yeah, back to Mega SD. High compatible. I mean, it's compatible with every single game. The only game it's not compatible with is Virtua Racing, because that has a special chip inside of it. And you can buy that game for like $15-20 anyway. So if you really have to get Virtua Racing, just go buy Virtua Racing. It's $20 more or less, But otherwise, yeah, Mega SD is great. The loading times are all but non-existent. Everything plays, sounds great. So yeah, I would say, that if you really, really, really like the Sega Genesis and you want to explore the Sega CD, but you can't get a working Sega CD for a decent price, or you've had a working Sega CD but they're too much of a pain to upkeep or price or whatever to upkeep, then get the Mega SD. Save up your money or do whatever you got to do. I guess you could sell your Mega EverDrive, because those retain value. They don't go down. I know there's those cheap knockoffs, those Chinese knockoffs of the EverDrive. I've never bought one of those. I was kind of at the point where, like, once you go Cricks, you never go back. But Mega SD, that's really, 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 really good. I have no complaints whatsoever with it. Even considering the price, you got to consider what it does, and it does it perfectly. No complaints at all. This is a great, wonderful product. And I can say the same thing about the Mega EverDrive. It's about $100 cheaper. I think it was like $175 for me to ship it. I bought it like 3 years ago, I believe, 3.5 years ago. But the long and short of it is, yeah, this is probably about $100 more, the Mega SD, plus a little change on the side. For me, with the import fee, that was pretty nice surprise. But even that being said, for the $100 more, more or less, you're getting all of the Sega CD and 32X CD if you get the adapter. So, yeah, they're both great products, but I would say get the Mega SD if you already had a Mega EverDrive, or if you want a Sega CD that works, There you go. Oh, yeah, and the box is really good quality, too. Let's go over that. This is not an unboxing by any means, but, yeah, the print, the quality. It looks like something you'd get off the shelf. It's not super high quality, like, say, like a collector's edition box of something, but otherwise, I have a little smudge on there. My hand must have had a little potato chip grease on it, I suppose. But that being said, yeah, it's a good quality. It's not cheap by any means. It's printed really well. The ink is of good quality. Nothing is smeary by any means. So they didn't cheap out on anything on this. And the instruction booklet has an array of languages. Let's see. Or no, it's all in English. I must be confusing it with my instruction manual that came with my mouse and keyboard the other day. But yeah, this has a competent instruction booklet, and it was very easy to set up. The only thing you really have to do is just
put your BIOS in a file that says, in a folder that says BIOS. You know, your Japanese, European, and American, United States BIOS. And then once you set those up within the cartridge, you press C in your menu. You know, you pick each you pick each bio, and you know, from there you set it to auto region fix, and you can load up any region without a problem. So yeah, this is really good. I definitely recommend it. I think Terra Onion is really awesome. Now I really wish I had a PC Engine or a Neo Geo, because I'd like to get some more Terra Onion products. Alright guys, have fun. Hopefully this will help you decide if you want to buy the Mega SD or not. Spidey says it's a good choice. His spider sense is tingling because of the savings you get with all of the compatible games and hardware. It's so amazing.